Need I say anything? Need I say anything?
I tell you right now, I know what the best husband, and say I'm sorry for those things, but you never help me to grow.
I told Pedro I know that you cheated on me, and he lies to my face.
What's going on, people? We are back again with another Moving Mad video. So when it comes to Chantel and Pedro, we have now finally hit the finale, final episode. And in this little segment here, we're just going to focus on what went down when it came to Pedro really revealing how he felt, but also at the same time, Chantel really seeking the answers that she needed. And to be honest, as you can imagine, things definitely did not get resolved. If anything, things continued to be more of a conflict rather than a resolution. But as you saw right there, when it comes to Pedro, he's saying that, listen, I became unhappy and I started to mistreat you because you never allowed me to grow. Well, no, you never helped me grow. And to be fair, when he said that helped, because I know what it's like to be with someone that doesn't actually help you grow to become the person you want to be. But that is no excuse to then start treating your woman like a piece of, because obviously we saw in the last season that the way he was treating Chantel just wasn't kind. But also at the same time, though, as Chantel has obviously said there, he's still denying the fact that he was unloyal. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to Chantel, she claims right now that she's got evidence that has been given to her lawyer. Evidence that she cannot disclose right now, and I guess she will disclose at some point. So the fact that she has evidence that he's been unloyal, I can understand why she's so furious with him and why she's not choosing to want to believe anything that he says. But, you know, with Pedro, like most men, or should I say most men of color, if he has been unloyal, I can promise you this now, he would never admit to it, and he would take that shit to the grave, unless, of course, whatever the evidence he has is really that strong and he can't deny it. But hey, we continue.
Accepting any apology from him because he knows what he did. It's what I wanted so bad from him, but now that I actually have that apology, it's empty words.
Never.
Hey,
the proposal was not for love.
Was for love.
No. The thing that you gave me to propose to me, that paper, you did not write those words.
Some help to write a proposal because my English was like super bad.
Because my English was so bad. Okay, cool. Listen, yes, you need someone to help you write the letter because English is bad. Okay, cool. We can run with that. But someone helping you is different to somebody actually writing the words for you. Okay, it's because it's not hard to tell someone what you want them to say in English. Okay, obviously he'll say it in his language, but they go translate English, right? But that's what it takes. Literally, you say what you got to say and the person writes it down. That's it. Unless there's been a confusion, unless, yes, this is exactly what happened. He got someone else to write it, but obviously all the words are his. Fair enough. But maybe for her now, she's got it. No. He got this from elsewhere. Now, I guess it's a matter of, can we trust the source that gave her this information? Do you know what I mean? That is hit or miss. But Pedro is adamant that he did love her. But the person that he was when he loved her is no longer exist. Now, listen, to be honest with you, as I watch, more and more, I do believe that this guy definitely did have feeling for Chantel at some point in their relationship. But those feelings died a very long time ago. And the saddest thing about it is that once they died, he was definitely in the relationship just to get his win rather than to walk away with an L. And that's just a grand scheme of it. So we could argue and say that when he got over, maybe initially he had no intention of using it to come to the States. And then maybe once he fell out of love with her, he thought, I'm here now, so let me just use it anyway. It's subjective how you're going to look at it. But what we cannot deny is that in the end, he definitely did use her to just be in the States and to get his win. In reality, it is quite interesting because Pedro does say something very interesting later on about how he feels. Well, I'll leave that one for when we get there.
I know what you did.
If you had this everything to make it,
You know what you did, Pedro.
On me with people who I've been around. That is just so disrespectful. And what kind of man are you?
Hey, look at me. I never hit on you.
Hey, it's a man to man. I say, how would you feel if that was your sister? You have nothing to say to me?
I have to say.
To be honest with you, I feel like Riro hit the nail on the head. How would you feel if somebody treated your sister the way you treated me? How would you feel? And of course, he had nothing to say. In fact, the whole family had nothing to say. You know what I mean? One thing that I always say is quite disappointing about Lydia is that she has no idea of how to control her daughter. I want to say her children, but to be fair, Pedro doesn't know how to control himself. I give him the benefit of the doubt for that one for sure. But Nicole? No, not a clue. And that's because Lydia allows her to run wild. Honestly, I question how the hell she raised that child, that she raised her daughter in the first place, let alone even her son, to be honest with you. But hey, it is what it is, right? But yeah, how would you feel? I mean, listen, the way Chantel's behaving, the passion behind it, it makes you wonder, is she projecting her hurt by saying that you cheated on me because you really did, because maybe, given the fact that maybe he didn't, or is she this annoyed because he really did. I mean, the problem with Pedro is that there's too many things around him. There's the idea of everything that he has benefited from this relationship. And then once he got all these things, he then bounced. And to be fair, Chantel does make a point later on as well, and I will say it now. If you love me, why didn't you fight for this marriage? And to be fair, let's be real, you know, the whole idea of getting married is because you're supposed to fight for the marriage. Through sickness and health, or whatever it is, man. Anyone who's married knows the freaking lines. You know what I mean? And it seems as if, like, he gave up really soon. I mean, Chantel did go on to talk about how she even mentioned having couples therapy, but he didn't want nothing to do with it. So when you're looking at all these things together, it makes you wonder, did you really love her though? Did you really though? Did you really care about her though? Did you really want a future of her? You know what I mean? I mean, listen, this man avoided being intimate with her for freaking, almost a year, 6 months or something like that? Why was that? To avoid maybe getting her pregnant so you'd have no liabilities to her, no connection with her? You know what I mean? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Or is it because you was too busy pretty much doing the madness with your boss? Too many questions around Pedro. There's too many questions around him to be able to defend him.
Say she never believed it. Why continue fight for a marriage? Why continue support her? Why continue try to be the husband or whatever? See, in the end, she's not going to believe it. And never cheating you. I was in love with you. How you not believe that? That's why she never going to move on, because she only believed that I was the bad person. She never looked inside of her.
As far as I'm concerned, I think Pedro's a very good actor. That's what I think. And with that being said, I think that he did definitely do a little dibby-dabbly elsewhere. And for me personally, I'm only really going to go on one piece of evidence. We've got so much evidence against him, but there's one evidence for me personally that is so crucial that I feel like this as a man is why he was never faithful to her. He did not sleep with her for literally over a year or 6 months, whichever it was. Gosh, but I forgot if it was a year or 6 months. But I promise this now. If a man is not sleeping with his woman for that duration of time, it can only mean maybe 3 things. 1, he's getting it elsewhere. 2, maybe he's just gay. Okay? Or 3, he's avoiding, getting you pregnant because he doesn't want any liability because he knows that he's going to leave you at some point. A point that he has planned. If you ask me personally, I want to go with the 2 points. I said I know I had 1 point, but I'm going to go with the 2 points to be fair. 1 and 3. And the first one was he was getting it elsewhere. And 2, he was probably trying to avoid getting her pregnant, if anything. Because we knew Chantel was in a position where she wanted to start trying for that. Now, I don't know if she was necessarily off contraception or not. I'd imagine that she was, but let's say she was still on it. Well, then number 1 is still there. So for me personally, I don't believe one bit. And also, let's not forget though, anything that he says on screen may be used against him, if they go to court for something else. You see what I'm saying? So let's be real. At the very beginning of this season, he did say that I've been quiet because I can't say too many things that would get me in trouble. So that's also another point too. So forget that, because remember, he's fine. He wants to make sure that he doesn't get deported.
There is part of me that hopes that Pedro did love me at some point. But sitting here today, knowing the fact that he didn't fight for our marriage and knowing the fact that he didn't even want to go to counseling when I asked him to, start to deteriorate and fall apart, it was so difficult that I put on blinders so that all I had to hold on to was this fan.
Need I say anything? Need I say anything?
They always believe, they're the immigrant, they're the bad guy, that they got the ticket Spanish, that they got the green card. Then, you know what? They're the one that used me, to help her daughter to get a freaking master.
And this one was a very good point. No, a very interesting point, sorry. Chantel used him so she could get her masters. Can somebody make sense out of that, please? I mean, to be honest with you, someone using someone for a green card? It's a completely different conversation to someone using someone to help them get a master's degree. How that's possible, I don't even know, to be honest. I've never heard that in my life. Unless you're cheating and you're doing answers for her, that is wild to me. But let's be real, the power behind a green card compared to the power of a master's degree? Bruh, really? Either way though, there is more to come when it comes to Pedro and Chantel, so please do make sure you stay tuned for the next upload that will be coming very soon. But with that being said though, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.